Yeah, let us discuss Interstate Migrant Workman Act 1979. So before going to discuss Interstate Migrant Workman Act 1979, we should know who are migrant workmen, right? So migrant means moving from one place to another place, isn't it? So laborers, they used to move from one state to another state, right? That means from one place to another place for better wages, for employment, right? For better living conditions. So laborers used to move from one place to another place for better wages, employment, and better living conditions. So you have to remember, migrant workers means they are moving from one place to another place for the better employment and better wages, better living conditions. So this act was passed by the this act was passed by the Indian Parliament. And why it has been passed means to protect the rights of the laborers and to prevent the exploitation of migrant workers and to ensure fair, decent condition of employment, and they should be treated fairly, right? And there should be a systematic framework regulation of the employment of the migrant workers in India. For that sake, we have enacted this act, right? Now, object you know very well, to protect the rights and prevents the exploitation of migrant workers, to ensure fair and decent condition of the employment, and every labor is treated fairly. They should be free from discrimination and exploitation. Now let us come to important section. This law is applicable to whole India. Yeah, this act is applicable to whole India, and it is applicable to all the establishment employing minimum 5 employees, right? That is also migrant workmen from other state. Minimum 5 migrant workmen are there in that company now, then it is applicable. So minimum requirement is 5 years. Next is section 4. This act mandates the registration of all the establishment that employ migrant workers. Yes. So whoever employing the migrant workers, that means a company, a factory or establishment, if they are employing the migrant workers now, then they have to mandatory register, right, under this act, and also requires the contractors, licensing contractors will be there. They have to get the license from the both home state and the host states. And next, every principal employer of an establishment to which this act applies shall make an application to the registrant officer. See, for example, if a company having the migrant employees now, then what they have to do means mandatory they have to go for the registration. So for that they have to apply for an application addressing to the registrant officer in such form and in such payment of fees as may be prescribed under this act, right? Section 5, revocation of certain registration. So revocation means taking back. So if the registration officer is satisfied either on the basis of the reference made that the registration has been obtained through fraud or misrepresentation, then it can be revoked. That means if the registration officers, if he is satisfied that if the registration has been obtained through fraud or through misrepresentation, then it can be taken back the license, right? That is section 5. Licensing of contractor. See, you know very well, when migrant workers, right, if they wanted to go to other state, they used to approach to the contractors. So earlier these contractors were not having any license, but this act made even for the contractors to take the license mandatory under the section 8, right? So under the section 7, what it's saying means appointment of licensing officer. The act may appoint such person as a licensing officer to issue a license to the contractor. So there will be the licensing officer, and this officer will issue the license to the contractors. Okay. Yes, continuation of that video. Yes, licensing of contractors. So section 7 says that appointment of licensing officer. So the act may appoint such person as licensing officer to issue a license to the contractor. So here government will appoint certain licensing officer, right, just to issue the license to the contractor. So this is dealing under the section 7. License. So this license may contain remuneration payable to the migrant workers and hours of work and what are their wages and how it should be paid. It should be paid hourly or monthly, right? But it should be regular and terms and condition of agreement. So these all will be mentioned in the license. Right. So section 9. So what section 9 is saying means grant of license. So every application for the grant of license under section 8. So if any establishment, if they want to take a license, then they have to file an application under the section 8, and it shall be made in prescribed form, and it should contain these all particulars like location of establishment, nature of work, number of workmen, especially migrant workmen employed. So after the investigation only they will grant the license to the establishment. Next is section 12, duties of contractors. So what are the duties means? Periodically furnish all the details of the migrant workman and maintain the register, and he should ensure equal pay for equal work, and every migrant worker shall be issued with passbook with passport size photo, like it is like an recognition with ID card. Ensure regular payment, ensure pay for equal work. Further, it ensures suitable conditions, medical facilities. Section 33, registers and other records. So here every employer should maintain all the registers and records regarding the migrant worker, and penalties whoever fails to follow the act, or if there is any violation of the act, then they are punishable for the imprisonment of 2 years plus 2005 plus both. Okay, if any doubt, ask me. Thank you.